All right, so we're at 94th and West End here, and you can see this is an actually functional open street that is, I guess, I think it has been consistently set up. Not sure if it's the actual police setting this up, the local precinct, or community members, but you can see there's all kinds of street activity here. There's these elderly couples sitting and relaxing. There's a guy pushing a stroller. Here you can see a driver who's driving through very slowly, 5 miles per hour. You can see what's going on. Here, let me see myself. I kind of look ridiculous here, but I'm trying to get a city bike at at the dock back there. But yeah, I mean, this is a functional place, and I just wanted to kind of bring attention to the fact that even if the thing that I heard from the cops yesterday was that the community affairs officer was that, the open streets are not used. They're not used, so therefore it's a failure. Therefore, let's release this space back to, the default usage, or who owns that street, who other than cars. Let's just allow cars to get back in there because, why stop cars? And my argument, as most public space, pedestrian cyclist advocates would say, is that simply having no cars driving through this neighborhood is itself the value. You don't have to have, this elderly couple sitting in the middle of the road. You don't necessarily have to have lots of people actively, quote unquote, using the space. You can just have a quiet road. And that is itself one of the major values of open streets. And so kind of my main point here is that you don't need, so up in West Harlem, you don't need tons of people just sitting around and, children riding bikes. That's nice to see. It's a really awesome benefit to all of this, obviously. But simply having a quiet space that can be utilized, if you so choose, for the neighborhood, is itself a massive value add, particularly during COVID, particularly now, right, in the summer. And it's just pathetic when you give it a failed attempt and then claim that it's failed, and you call it, the people calling it a failure are the people who are responsible for making it a success, or can doom it to failure from the beginning. And I think that's what's happened in these other streets. At least half the open streets are not really open. They're not maintained. And, and that's one of the problems here. So, yeah, I think I just wanted to contrast the efforts and the perception that the police, the precinct, the 26th precinct has for the open streets up at 117th Street versus, I guess, the 24th precinct, or whichever one is here, from, I think that's 96th Street and West End. This segment that comes all the way down, this is looking south, down to, I think, 86th Street or 88th Street, something like that. It's a good half-mile segment that you can see, like, people are using it. But my whole point is that we should value even empty space. Just car-free, quiet space is itself a massive value add for communities. And I also question, like, how you even evaluate. I've asked the DOT, how do you even evaluate? Do you even have site reps? Do you have people from the DOT or anywhere that just come in on some regular basis to evaluate that the barriers are set up properly, that things are, working as expected, on a regular basis, not like one site visit each month, and then you rely on people to just tell you, like people calling the precinct or emailing or whatever. It's not up to us. It's up to the DOT. It's up to the NYPD and those who are tasked with the with the purpose of setting these barricades up on a regular basis. It's up to them. Their SLA, their service level agreement, is that these things should be set up at 8 a.m. and taken down at 8 p.m. That is what we expect, 24 7 days a week, right? Or whatever the days entail. And that hasn't been done. And it has been done in this area here. And so I just wanted to point that out, that even if you're trying to evaluate it, even the methodology is completely flawed. When the community affairs officer claims that nobody's using it, I imagine somebody just showed up to 117th and Frederick Douglass, looked down, said, "Oh, nobody's using it," and then that's it. Went back to their precinct, which is, by the way, barricaded in with cars and barricades. Cars parked all over the bike lane, all over the sidewalks. These are absolutely not people that value pedestrian and cycling space, and space that isn't handed over to cars. Like how they perceive every inch of pavement of the city. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to point out this is a functional space. This is where this is what I hoped would be up in our community in West Harlem. It hasn't. What I would love to see in this area here is something that takes these barricades and sets up more permanent fixtures and more attractive fixtures inside the inside the street. Like, you can imagine a seesaw or a playground for children, or paint on the ground, anything that makes this a more livable space. And I think just a place to walk is great for maybe the first month or two, but if the people in this neighborhood just wanted to make this their own, and they had some support from the DOT to say, all right, we actually are going to set up a whole bunch of things that can go in the street, that would really brighten this whole area and take this to the next level. I think that's version 2.0 of open streets. And here's some more people walking. So sorry, I look insane with my helmet and my GoPro thing and my glasses and my mask, but I figured I'm standing in the middle here, I don't want to bother anybody. So. And you don't want to see the hair that I've got underneath this. I have to wear a hat because my hair is a little crazy. So anyway, those are my 2 cents on this. Thanks for watching, and over and out.